Mic check, 1 2 1 2. King of the Pit TV. There's ROCKSTEADY signing in. This one goes out to RIP The Punishment Due 18. Thank you for your patience, my friend. We know that when my guy rolls around, there's some good metal on its way. All right. So Razor, I've had a great experience with Razor so far. Some albums I prefer to others. I didn't like the, electronic drums in the, I think it was like a mid-90s record we heard last time, but the record Shotgun Justice blew my flipping socks off. It was probably one of my favourite albums on this channel so far, so we're taking it earlier. And the thing is, I put a video up discussing that album, Shotgun Justice, and I associated it with a crossover act. I thought it was a very crossover sound, and I got a couple of responses to that. Some say, nah, it's just thrash metal, man. But I thought, I don't know, it sounds like a crossover record to me. But let's see if we go metal. Let's see if we go heavy metal with this one. And I say that because we're in 85 now, all right? We're a fair few years earlier. I'm going to enjoy my night. I'm sipping on a cheap Sauvignon Blanc. Sauvignon Blanc. And I'm going to have a good night. So this one goes out to my friend who recommended it on the Patreon. And without further ado, let's jump in. We're starting off with an instrumental, which to me, at 4 minutes 12, is a bold statement. Quite distasteful, all right? Not something I would be into. But we're going to have to find out. Maybe it's a rager. Let's go. Nowhere fast. Have we got comments, I wonder? No comments. Unidisc Music Incorporated. Right at the start as well. 1985 0101. Or at least that's when publishing is. Mind the hair. Just got out of the shower. This is too much for the first song. This isn't like an instrumental. This is like a stripped down song. It needs a vocal line on. It's structured like a song. It's not structured like an instrumental, you know? Why they didn't put a vocal on it, I have no idea. Get to the point. This is way too long. This is way too long. Fuck this off and start from track 2. 9 tunes, do you know what I mean? Yeah, this we don't need to go over the same idea, which, by the way, isn't a great idea. I like this band because of their simplicity. I do just like the speed and the drive the band has. They don't create great riffs. Like, this band is not known to me for their riffage, all right? Just through their intensity and their speed and their push party action. This is just the most basic riffs. But I like the single line picked Slayer bit, but this riff is just shit. It's a shit riff. I'm fascinated to see how the vocals are mixed on this though, because we've had a full clarification, a full insight as to how the instrumental is mixed. Right, let's go. I mean, if this was a live set, we'd be waiting to go. It'd build a little bit of anticipation. Frontman comes on like a rock star. Wow, what the heck is up? Where's this band from? Razor. I don't know where they're from. Right, let's jump into it. You see, it's built tension. It's built tension. I'm looking forward to track 2 now. I'm looking forward to this vocal. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. There's ROCKSTEADY King of the Pit TV signing in, not wasting any time. I'm gassed up from the introduction. All right, it's build up tension. Right, I'm ready to mosh. Cross Me Fool is track number 2. I'm gassed. What is coming up? Short-term car insurance. Can SMD. Let's flipping go. Where's this vocal at? Am I wrong in saying it sounds a little bit Celtic Frost, the vocal performance?
fading out, no kiss in the act. Crime is time, offense will back. Remember me when tears are done. When I'm back from the point across the pool. I'll leave up the score, what you get. Revenge and a little more, you know I'm mad. After the four, stay clear of me. I'm run to the door, across the pool. I'll leave up the score, what you get. Revenge and a little more, you know I'm mad. After the four, stay clear of me. I'm run to the door.
Anybody hear that panned left, like hushed vocal that was coming in just outside of your awareness? It might have been like an echo effect, but it sounded like a separate vocal track, subliminally influencing me. That was an alright start. Alright start. It was heavy metal. Get us to the blazing thrash. I don't want the digga 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 digga. I want the. Let's get to it. Legacy of Doom coming up next. I'm excited, people. Come on. Yes, now blessed now. There's ROCKSTEADY at King of the Pit TV signing in, listening to Razor tonight. Evil Invaders is the record. This entire list through goes out to my friend, The Punishment Jew. Recommended this on the Patreon. Now, I had in the related videos a record I think you metalheads would enjoy if you're joining me here. Check this out. Metalcore, Archangel, Prayers Upon Deaf Ears, 1999. Quick EP. Let's just play this, and I just want to give you a teaser for this one because I think this is a great record. If you like Slayer, 90s influenced mosh metal, all out war, kickback, biblical prophecy mosh. In the related videos as well, that's a good record. Liar. Same community. Belgium. Congress as well. Great band. There you go, that's a little taster. So if you're a metalhead, little lesser known band when it comes to actual metalheads, because that was an act, and still is an act, that resides a little more so in the hardcore community. So there you go, that's some game for you right there. Razor, Legacy of Doom, let's go. 1985 was a great year for metal, right? Arguably the best year for metal. What do you say to that? Put them both together, 84 and 85, collaboratively might be the best time for metal, full stop. And I wasn't even born then. I'm just saying from what I know from the outside looking in, it seemed like, you know, as far as records being put out. D. Carlo. Hard vocal that. Bro, imagine if he did the whole record with vocals like that. That'd be hard. Like an eagle. Cool tune. Like them high vocals. Them high vocals coated in that reverb is a very tasty conversation. We've got Evil Invaders, the title track, coming up next. I reckon this will be a good one. I'll see you there. Yes, now bless now. Don't forget to rest now. There's Rocksteady sorting the old Barnet out at King of the Pit TV, signing in. Razor is the band, Evil Invaders is the record, Evil Invaders is the track. Invaders. Da, da. Let's jump in. Whoop. Whoa. I'm a big fan of that style of power chord. Does anybody know what that is in particular? It's when you it's the same fret, one string above another, and you can proper rip it like on the middle sets of strings. But I don't know what you call them, but I like playing them a lot. They're very cool. That reminds me of Motley Crue does this, Live Wire. That's a great tune, that Live Wire. Come on now. Cheers. Guitar solo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you see how well I knew that? That's why this song in particular has got more views than the others. Because it's written well. If you know what's coming next, it's not a negative. I say this every single time I come across this. It's good songwriting when the listener knows what's coming up next, because the listener can get involved and engage and enjoy the experience as opposed to being confused, you know? We listened to a thrash band recently, which was the Counter Opposite. That band was entitled Forced Entry, which were a good band, but, you know, a little less pop friendly, because they didn't abide by the general formula that is necessary to market it to a broader crowd, you know? It's all business at the end of the day. Bum, bum, bum. Not a bad tune. Not a bad tune at all. Yeah, little more of a... I don't like to use this, but a little more of a sellout tune, you know? I know to be a sellout is to go against one's own and to be like, you know, pedestalize that which you shouldn't at the expense of who you are. But I mean it in a sense that it's, you know, a little bit more agreeable, a little bit more marketable. And the undercurrent of that is, what I mean is, it's just a better song, better songwriting. Not a bad tune. We've got Iron Hammer coming up next, and Iron Hammer is a hard flipping title. So I'm looking forward to this one myself. I think I might like this one. Iron Hammer. Yes, now, bless now. Don't forget to rest now. Des, Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV. Devoted to my friend, The Punishment Due 18. Which I only acknowledged. I got The Punishment Due. I mean, you don't come across those words together unless it's the Megadeth tune. And then I thought, wait a minute, 18, Hangar 18. Wait a minute, R.I.P. Polaris. Oh, whoa. And it blew my head. It felt as if I was entering a deeper, esoteric realm. But it's devoted to my friend, The Punishment Due, who recommended this on the Patreon. Track 5 of 10 on Razor's Evil Invaders record is entitled Iron Hammer, which... looking at the song titles, it's probably the hardest title on the record. I like Iron Hammer. Coming in like a D beat rhythm. Motorhead. But it is D beat. Dead, let. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cheers. Let's go now. Hard. One qualm I've had. Let's just see where this goes. This band, and it started from the very first title on this record, Nowhere Fast, as an instrumental. I mean, it was a real emphasised on that purely as it was an instrumental. The band's coming in, and this is a bit of songwriting game for you here. The band does... then comes in, and then comes in. And at this point, after all of that, we should change it and give a different section. Even if it's a guitar solo, we shouldn't go back to the same. 3 times is way too many. The only thing you should be doing 3 times in a song is the chorus section, but the section prior to that last chorus must be completely different to the rest of the song, right? We can't do 1-1-1 as far as the sectioning is concerned. It needs to be at least 1-1-2, you know? It's... yeah, it gets boring when you've heard it for the 3rd time. 2nd time is okay. 3rd time is like repetitive, you know? Nothing wrong with drilling the same riff all the way through the song, but like the whole breakdown section, you know, it's just give us something new, you know? With that being said, this is a good tune. I do like the energy of this one. A little bit more punk rock, you know? Yeah, decent tune. A little bit D-beat infused, a little bit UK 82, which is where a lot of these thrash bands, you know, were influenced from, you know. Metalhead saying, don't care about hardcore and stuff like this, but, you know, if you like thrash metal, so much of that is rooted in, you know, early hardcore adjacent music, like the British UK 82 movement. We've got Instant Death coming up next, track number 6, see you there. Yes, now bless now, people. Don't forget the rest now. There's ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV signing in. I'm going to have a pot noodle soon, and as I do, I'm going to watch a Terraria speedrunning video. Instant Death is track number 6 of 10. Possibly the shortest track on the record, which I'm looking forward to. Let's jump in, shall we? This might be Down My Street. Burn out, well. Burn out, well. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And now flesh, prophets in dismay. See them cry, watch them die, knowing anything. Instant death claims and life progression is to blame. That's what you get. Technology, the attribute, futuristic solitude. Thug up maps with a no gas, no deal, good woods of best. What's the chaos out of bed? Blowing on the question of men. Suicide of minutes is an easy way out. Just dissipation, precision returns. Living here, life, sheep, violence, destruction, and decay. Burning eyes, burning flesh, prophets in dismay. See them cry, watch them die, knowing anything. Instant death, claims to life, progression is to blame.
Very cool. Blazing. Great tune. Great rhythm. I can't fault that one. That one was a good tune. I like briefer songs on albums like this. Not to the point where they're just like 1 minute, 2 minute tongue-in-cheek fillers, but where they're a little bit shorter, which means they have to condense the idea in, you know, a brief amount of time, and they get to the point. They have the energy within their hands to perform very well over that brief amount of time, you know, instead of having to spread it thin. I enjoy that. We've got Cutthroat coming up next, yeah? Yes, now bless now, people. Don't forget to rest now. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV. Evil Invaders, track 7 of 10 is Cutthroat. This is devoted to my good friend, The Punishment Jew, who's been putting us onto some great metal over the months. Let's jump in, shall we? Shall I pull a card for you? Shall I pull a card for you, yeah? The moon, the divine feminine. In alchemical terms, silver. The divine feminine principle. You, man, tap into your inner femininity, your intuition, your creativity. Let's go. In my opinion, probably the best riff on the record so far. Digga, 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 digga. Them high vocals are spectacular, and there should be a lot more in there. If they did most of the record in them highs, even though they're quite harsh, I'm sure they won't do the throat much good. Sorry for the pun. Give you a cut throat. But they sound fantastic. When I first heard them, I considered them being inhales as opposed to exhale. I thought, how's he doing that with that grit, you know? Yeah, very good. That was pretty good. Cutthroat had a great riff to it. I'm going to have to say, once again, they sort of overplay, you know, in these songs. They don't need to go on as long as they do, because they sort of rehash the same ideas one time too many. And when I say one time, I just mean one time, you know, not overdoing it to a complete degree, but that's just the way it is. Let's keep going. We've got Speed Merchants coming up next. Yes, now bless now. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV. Signing in. Evil Invaders is the record. Track 8 is the sequence of this song on the album Evil Invaders. Invaders by Razor. Let's go. There is a lot of culture reference in this album. There is a lot of reference to the moshes. Put some respect on the moshes. Isn't it crazy how the bands that don't reference the mosh garner a larger reception over time, create a better brand over time? But these acts that garner to the dancers always stifle their development. And it's fucked up, because I acknowledge this, and this is such a critical point by me, because songs about the dancers and the energy and the toe tapping people is me. They target me. But the bands that talk about the moshes Never go too far, even though it's a relatively niche topic. And, you know, they say that when you target a niche initially, you should blow the hell up. And I know that, like, bands like Metallica and stuff, they do, like, Whiplash and all this and that, and you've got, like, Rattlehead and stuff, where it's about, like, banging your head and stuff. But it's about the bands that sort of cover a broader spectrum of people, i.e. watering down the crowds and the energy that actually attend the event, that becomes successful. It's fucked, to be honest with you. Ba-da-da. Ba-da-da. Solo. Solo. That might be my favourite on the record so far. That might be my favourite on the record so far. That had the intensity I needed from this band. That's the intensity I associate with this band, given I joined this band on so far what has been their most intense record. I like that one. I thought that one was decent. Longest track on the record coming up next, Tortured Skull. I will see you there. Yes, now, bless now. Don't forget to rest now. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV signing in. We're listening to Razor tonight. Evil Invaders is the record. Track 9 is entitled Tortured Skull. The best title on this record has been Iron Hammer. But Tortured Skull quite arguably might be the most metal title. A tortured skull. Let's go. You can hear the production of this record. As you listen to the guy play the guitar, you hear like a vocal, little breathe. Listen. Do you not hear that? Do you not hear that? Pay attention. If you can't hear it on this playthrough and you're a Razor fan, you'll hear it on the actual audio recording. You hear the mic pick up the vocal. Accidentally. Maybe the most technical guitar work on the record so far. Riffage. Ooh! Is this the best track on the record? From the first 26 seconds. Let's go back. Least viewed track on the record. Some quality pick scrapes on this record. On this song, at least. And as far as the record is concerned, the wah usage, the whammy bar usage, I've referenced it in one of the tunes because the riff reminded me of Live Wire by Motley Crue, but Motley Crue had a great usage of the whammy bar as well, and it's that and the tone is adjacent to what I've heard in some of the Motley Crue records. I mean, don't tell the metalheads of 1985 that I've said that. The dude leaves, savors that high vocal until the end of every track. I mean, there's a few moments in and out of the track where he'll utilize it, but if generally speaking, at the end of the track is where he'll utilize that high vocal, and that's the most powerful vocal. So it's understandable why you would do structurally, but bro, I want to hear more of the high vocal. That was probably the best track on the record. We've only got one song to finish off. That might change my mind, but that was my favourite tune on the record, Tortured Skull. And that's contrary to popular opinion, because the view count wasn't what it should have been in relation to the rest of the tunes. We got Thrash Dance to finish. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV, Razor. Track 10 of 10, Evil Invaders, is Thrash Dance. This listen through goes out to my friend The Punishment Jew, recommended this on Patreon. In my opinion, which is, you know, not my general opinion, I normally say like the longest track on a metal record tends to be a bit fucking bland and boring and stretched out. Tortured Skull, i.e. the longest track on the record, was pretty flipping good, and maybe my favourite track on the record. Thrash Dance is finishing off, let's go. Punk! Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go. Ooh, we're extending it. La da 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 da. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Long live the underground. As long as there's a mainstream, there will always be an underground. It's the duality, isn't it? Light and dark. But let me put some respect. I don't say that to criticise. I say that to put some respect on that quote. Long live the underground. I like that. I like that. I like that. Hard. Yeah, and I like that. Thrash dance, because if one band sort of personifies the thrash dance, this band is up there. Definitely one for the dancers, and I like that a lot. I don't want to stand with my arms crossed watching a guitarist wank his guitar off for 8 hours straight, watching some shit fucking, self-indulgent band. I want a band that's for the people, a band that's for the crowd, a band that writes riffs, and a band that exerts energy to receive energy. That's the bands I like when it comes to this particular realm. So I got to put some respect on that. With that being said, Tortured Skull, track number 9, still remains the best track on the record, and I'm going to have to stick by that because we're at the end now. But I'm going to give my final overview of this album on the next video, and I'll rate out of 10 for you, okay? Yes, now, bless now, people. Don't forget to rest now. There's Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV, signing in and signing out. Razor, Evil Invaders was the record. We've just listened to it. If you're just joining me now on the review, we have got like the whole 10 tracks covered in the reaction videos, so check them out. But if you just want to hear my final overview on what I thought of this record in the freshest opportunity possible, i.e. I just listened to this, here's the right place to be. So first and foremost, 10 tracks. The introduction is a instrumental, but not really an introduction. Not like a brief introduction. It basically is a instrumental song, and that sucks. They should take that off of the record. This would have been better as a 9-track without that intro. Not that I dislike the band's sound without the front man. It just wasn't the right way to put forth the first track of the record. And it wasn't the right way to put forth an instrumental. And it was just the wrong choice to make. It was an immature choice to make. But we move on to the record. The 9 tracks with the vocals. And they were good. They were good. The vocal performance was good. Very early, even though it's a mid-80s, I would say very early 80s metal. Not an incredible grit and harshness, but a grimness, an early death metal-esque, an early black metal-esque. Like there is a grim element that could be taken into any particular direction, but has evolved from the general cleanliness of the heavy metal acts that came prior. You got a bit of Celtic Frost, a little bit of Venom perhaps in the vocal line. I'm not very well versed on this particular area of like extreme metal purely it's the early 80s. I like hardcore and stuff at this time. They were far well ahead as far as Extremity is concerned. The metal seems a little bit tame. I want heavy metal early 80s. I'm not too fussed on thrash, because to me, thrash, in the metal realm, thrash was a lot more valuable to my ears when we got a better production value, when we got better musicians, when we had the ancestry that predated the bands to, create the formula and for us to advance from there. The very roots material, in 2025 is just, it's not entertaining to me. But we got on to Razor through listening to a few other Razor acts. It was recommended on the Patreon by my friend The Punishment Juice, so hails to my man, because he's put me onto some great metal records. We listened to Razor on a few occasions prior to this. Shotgun Justice, phenomenal record in my personal opinion. One of the better crossover records I've heard ever, because it's a consistent attack and it's blazing and I love it. We moved onwards from there, historically moved to the newer realm, and they started utilizing like program drums and stuff. It's shit. No. I want primitive beating on the bongos music. I don't want electronics involved in this style of music. So it sort of detracted the most important component, which was the energy. So now we've taken it all the way back to the 80s. We've actually gone back in time and we've got an organic drummer, most definitely, because the drummer didn't play in time for the most part. You know, it was a very organic recording in the sense that you could hear the discrepancies with the timing and, you know, the organic value of the band jamming together. I would prefer them to be tighter, but I would take this over a machine that plays robotically, you know? Riff-wise, and don't get me wrong, I'm going to be very critical, but it's to lead on to better things. So riff-wise, very basic, you know, nothing special in the riffage, no fantastic riffs, very basic riffs. Bass line just follows the riff, the root note. But that's what I really liked from Shotgun Justice. So I say that to say this, there's nothing wrong with being basic and minimal and, you know, less than technical. There's nothing wrong with that. Overall, the project was cohesive. From start to finish, bar the title, not the title track, but bar the initial track, the instrumental, which I think should be removed. I think the album was a nice listen from start to finish. There was no low points. Structurally, they were finding their feet. You know, I think they found it later on. Because on this particular record, they were, I don't know, coming across a little boring with the repetitious value of the sections. We don't need to hear the verse section 3 times in a song. We just don't need to. And you can argue with me and say, well, that's sellout pop writing and so forth. And it's like, it's just generally not. It's just a matter of I'm a human being and just give me something new and refreshing. Don't keep repeating the same section. It's irrelevant, it's pointless, it's detracting from your capabilities as a musician and as a creative. What do we do as a creative? We create. You're not creating anything further, you're just going back to the same old idea. We can't have that. The high vocals were special, especially with the reverb, if not an echo, you tell me what it is, that was applied to them. They were good. They were really good. The general vocals were okay, but them high vocals, although they sounded so harsh to a point where I couldn't imagine him do the whole record with them, I would love to hear the dude do the whole record with them high vocals. I think it would be, you know, a fantastic sound, honestly, an intense sound, and I'd really like that. But yeah, the high vocals were fantastic. If I'm to rate this record, I'm going to be critical. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. This was 85. Hella Waits was out in 85. And this band took a nice, you know, took the other road. A little more of a punk rock value, which is shocking given I think Slayer's like indirectly one of the more punk rock acts of our time. But, you know, took a little bit more of a punk rock UK82 value from time to time, which I appreciate. But yeah, I think in 1985 there was a bit more space for development as to what we heard here. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I'm signing out. Peace.